Hey guys, so continue our video series about harmless requests of a girl, or even a wife, which put a cross on your career of a cool man. I hope you watched my previous video and you have already realized the main points that will not allow you to wipe your feet. So, let's go. Lack of boundaries. If suddenly the wife is excessively curious, this can be a frequent cause of spats or even quarrels. But you must keep the defense. Without a second's hesitation, refuse to give the password to your social networks. Every person should have a personal space which remains untouchable even for the closest people. It is likely, having received a refusal, the girl will pout her lips and will play in silence, showing dissatisfaction, or on principle will refuse to fulfill any of your requests. Not a problem. This is just a battle in the battle for personal space. The woman is trying with all her might to get a foothold in the relationship and take you under full control. That's understandable. But be warned. If you, not wanting to quarrel, give in to her, at least once, you can consider that the battle you lost. She's not going to let it go. As a result, you will either find yourself under the hood, with complete external control in all areas of your life, or you will break up. Women are insidious. Skillfully manipulating, she, without blinking an eye, will roll out an ultimatum. Do you have something to hide from me? If in 5 minutes I do not have the password to your account, we are not on the way. Your job is to respond, and whether he understands or not is not your problem. I have nothing to hide. But my friends, in the correspondents with whom you are going to stick your nosy nose, have a lot of secrets. And they certainly don't plan on letting you in on the details of their personal lives. Well, if you want to break up, I'm not stopping you. You think that's a good reason? No problem. Let's break up. Having received such an answer, believe me, a woman will come to her senses very quickly, unless, of course, is not completely devoid of sanity. Feeling that you are not afraid of losing her, will be much more careful with their proposals. And once and for all will understand that one of the favorite female manipulation, parting with you, does not work. And in general, my advice, to any female threats, ultimatums, manipulation, do not respond. Not at all. She says she wants to break up, always respond with willingness. Remind her that you do not hold. If you give in to pressure, you trigger a mechanism to redistribute the balance of power in the relationship. It's not going to end well for you personally. A woman picks up the keys, leverage. You give in once, and you can be sure as soon as you need to push the boundaries of control, the manipulation and ultimatums will be repeated. The pressure will be stronger, and you will be forced to give in, irrevocably giving up your position. Alco-pleasers. We can all have a noisy party or a romantic dinner with bottles of wine. Needless to say, under the influence of alcohol, not only our behavior changes, but also the general perception of what is happening around us. Everything said in such a state needs sober rethinking, if, of course, you remember what exactly said to each other. Life has proven, not always the wishes voiced under the influence of alcohol really need to be fulfilled. One of my acquaintances, seeking the attention of unapproachable young lady, by right and wrong was among those invited to a joint event. In the midst of the celebration, quite tipsy, the girl told about a long-time dream to get a dog. 2 days later, inspired by hope, the man came to visit her, and not alone, but with a puppy of exactly the breed that the girl dreamed of so much 2 days ago. And what did he hear literally on the doorstep? I'm flattered by the attention, but I don't plan to get a dog. That's it. What's the bottom line? No relationship or even hope for one, but there's a dog. It's staying with a buddy of mine. So my friendly advice to you, never fulfill drunken women's requests. And also, do not rush to fulfill those promises, which you gave her yourself. A lot of taken on the chest. Think 10 times. If you're not doing now an unforgivable stupidity, which you will regret in the near future. Therapy for dessert. I left one of the most harmless at first glance requests, the fulfillment of which puts a fat cross on your career as a leader in relationships. What it's about. Here's the story. Let's say a girlfriend or wife asks to watch a video of a promoted psychotherapist, who, according to her deep conviction, gives really valuable advice. He knows best how to behave in a relationship and achieve absolute harmony. Without thinking about what can threaten you with such a video session, you sit down next to the girl to listen to the guru. Losing your vigilance, you literally fail the balance of importance. You see at first glance a man who, in a husky voice, tells you how things should be. He's giving a masterclass on how a real man shows his strength, convincingly tells about how it is necessary to assert oneself in a male collective. And only mama's boys who have achieved nothing in life self-assert themselves in relationships at the expense of the unfortunate woman. Perhaps you even sign up for training to this miracle psychologist, giving for vital consultations cosmic amount, ignoring the fact that the wizard himself has 2 divorces under his belt for reasons unknown to you, and that's just the official ones. As there, a teacher should first and foremost be able to teach others. Well. You take the training, and the relationship indeed becomes better. Scandals and complaints are many times less. The woman praises you, telling you about your willingness to work on yourself to get better. Just a little more and you'll be labeled the perfect couple. And it may seem like forever, but with surprise, you begin to notice that your woman is allowing herself more and more every day. She's starting to get a little too over the top. There are no stops, and she frankly goes off on you for no apparent reason. You go into a stupor, not realizing what's going on and what to do about it all next. Why did the strategy of the great psychoanalyst stop working? After all, you strictly follow his recommendations. You unconditionally fulfill the main precept. Never argue with a woman. If she swears at you, you just listen to her calmly. And only later, when the queen has calmed down, you try to find out what was done wrong. Still, with the same restraint and calmness, you try to get your point across, respecting her feelings and boundaries. These words will get your partner completely enraptured. Under this video, you can read hundreds of approving female comments, in which admirers of talent, more like obsessed sectarian women, sing praises to the unsurpassed relationship guru. How right he is. He's so right. 100% right. Men, take note. And you, imperceptibly for yourself, break into the general movement, and also begin to believe unquestioningly that in fact it should be so. But despite all your efforts, after a temporary improvement, your relationship turns into a real nightmare. And then you find out that your wife has a lover. Or, for example, you find a note on your bedside table. I don't love you. We have to break up, I'll pick up my stuff later. And the point of the problem is that you didn't initially take into account one very important detail. This therapist so elegantly presents only the information that women expect and want to hear from him. It's nothing personal. He simply works for a female audience. But for men and their importance in the eyes of women, this information is extremely destructive. Judge for yourself. If the blogger in his videos will begin to talk about how not to let a woman sit on your neck, who will buy his courses? He will lose the loyalty of his female audience, will remain without income. So before you fulfill another woman's desire and start living by the charter of a famous blogger, think hard. Do you need it? What result will such therapy lead you to? If you forget about your masculinity, will play kitten, not defending their own boundaries when a woman, insolent, nothing good for you personally, it will not end.